DeWanna Bonner is an Atlanta Dream player. The Phoenix Mercury are paying her $451,220 to not be one of theirs. That figure comes from Richard Cohen of Her Hoop Stats, reported August 24th. It is over 90% of the $500,000 one-year deal Bonner signed with Phoenix back in April. 3 days after that report, she signed with Atlanta, a team already locked into the playoffs. And almost nobody has run the math on what that means. So let's run it. A buyout is not a pay cut. That's the piece casual fans get backwards because the phrase "took a buyout to chase a ring" makes it sound like a sacrifice. It isn't. A buyout is money the team pays the player to release her from the contract. If you follow the NBA at all, you've seen this movie. Veterans get bought out in February and turn up on Contenders a week later. Phoenix owes Bonner $451,000. Atlanta, per ESPN, is paying her roughly $116,000 more, the prorated maximum for the rest of the season. Add those two together, $567,000 give or take. That's more than her original contract was worth. Now, be careful with that number because I want to be straight with you. No outlet has published that combined total. That's just addition to reported figures stacked. But the addition holds, and where it points is not complicated. Bonner did not give up a paycheck to chase a championship. She kept the paycheck, added to it, and traded a 13-25 team for a title contender. Think about that for a second. Here's how she got there. On August 22nd, Atlanta beat Phoenix 99-89 in Phoenix, and that loss officially eliminated the Mercury from playoff contention. Angel Reese scored a career-high 31 in that game. 2 days later, Phoenix announced the buyout. Mercury general manager Nick Uren put it in writing. The team, in his words, worked out a buyout agreement that gives her the opportunity to chase a title in what could be her final postseason. Her agent, Mike Count, told ESPN's Kareem Copeland that Phoenix was great and that no issues with the organization drove her to seek the buyout. Bonner's own line, "I don't know what the future holds." Then she sat on the waiver wire for 2 days. And this is where the story gets structural, because that $451,000 only existed if every other team let her go. Per her hoop stats, if any team had claimed Bonner off waivers, that claiming team would have taken on her contract and the buyout would have vanished. 14 other franchises had to pass. All of them. Her entire financial outcome depended on nobody putting a hand up. And here's the part that should make you sit forward. This is the second straight year that Exact Mechanic has decided her season. Go back to 2025. Bonner signs with the Indiana Fever for $200,000. She plays 9 games, steps away for what the team calls personal reasons, and Annie Costabile, then at Front Office Sports, reports that Bonner has no interest in returning to play for the Fever, with Phoenix and Atlanta named as her preferred destinations. Indiana wants a trade. Indiana lands nothing. Indy Star's Chloe Peterson reports the Fever waive her and re-sign Ari McDonald. Head coach Stephanie White, asked about it publicly during the absence, offers only this: "I haven't had a lot of conversations recently." And Costabile reported something else. Multiple sources told her that teams were being advised not to claim Bonner off waivers because her preference was Phoenix, where she's engaged to Mercury forward Alyssa Thomas. Same wire, same silence. Second year running. But here's where the two exits stop being the same story, and this is the detail that separates the people who actually followed this from the people repeating a headline. Bonner's 2025 Indiana contract was explicitly unprotected. Indiana could waive her without owing a buyout or a penalty. They ate a total loss and got nothing back. 1 year later, Phoenix had to negotiate $451,000 to reach the same outcome. Same player. Same "I want out." One team paid nothing because the contract let them. The other wrote a 6-figure check and chose to. So when you hear She does this every year. Understand that the 2026 version is the expensive one. And Phoenix agreed to it anyway. Now let me introduce the person who complicates all of this, because there's a Fever player who has not let any of it go. Sophie Cunningham, June 22nd, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Indiana, beats Phoenix 86-77. Fourth quarter, whistle blows. Caitlin Clark and Bonner get tangled up in an exchange of words. And Cunningham simply points her finger at Bonner and holds it there for roughly 22 seconds, dead eye contact, saying nothing. Both are hit with technicals. 5 players are hit with technicals from that scuffle. The clip becomes a national meme, and there is an actual fan campaign to make that pointing silhouette the WNBA's next logo. Cunningham asked whether she ever got an explanation for how Bonner left to Indiana. No, and we never will, and I really don't care anymore. On her own moment, she said, "That is the stupidest thing I've ever done." In July, on the Sons and Daughters podcast, she called Bonner Miss Priss. In August, on her own show, asked whether there was real friction traceable to those comments, she answered, "Hell yeah, 1000%. That is not settled, that is simmering. Hold on to it, because the standings force a collision." As of today, Atlanta is 4th at 25-13. Indiana is 5th at 25-14. If the season ended right now, those two meet in the first round, and Atlanta was upset in the first round last year by Indiana. Layer Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on top of Bonner and Cunningham, and you have a playoff series with 4 separate storylines before anyone throws a pass. Now the other side, because this isn't a coronation, analyst Rachel Demita on the Courtside Club podcast gave Bonner a pass. If she wants out, she gets out. She left the Indiana Fever, and they didn't even trade for her. They got nothing in return. Demita added that in another league this would be heavily scrutinized, but that Bonner can't be blamed for it. Analyst Caroline Fenton pointed out that mid-season buyouts are routine roster management, while a player of Bonner's stature walking 5 games out purely to join a rival is genuinely unusual. And then there was a harder take. Mick of Mick Talks Hoops posted on August 24th that if Bonner landed with the Las Vegas Aces right after Nerlissa Smith's injury, the WNBA need to investigate the tampering around her, adding that Phoenix had already admitted to trying to sign her while she was still under contract in Indiana a year earlier. That was the condition. She did not sign with Las Vegas, she signed with Atlanta. And to be clear, no league investigation has been reported, so you weigh it yourself. Meanwhile, per The Athletic's Annie Costabile, Phoenix comes out fine too. The open roster spot lets them evaluate talent for 2027 through the September 24th finale. They signed Sailor Poffenbarger to a 7-day contract the very next day. So what does Atlanta actually land for its $116,000? Per ESPN, Bonner averaged 10.6 points, 6.1 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1.2 steals this season, starting 26 of 37 games in Phoenix, shooting 39.4% in 27.6 minutes a night. She's expected to come off Atlanta's bench, and that bench needs her. The Dream averaged 17.2 bench points per game, second fewest in the league, and 4-time All-Star Breonna Jones hasn't played since leaving the August 13th game against Connecticut with a left leg injury. Bonner is the only 3-time Sixth Player of the Year in league history. She won it 3 straight years, 2009 through 2011, coming off the bench. And here's the last thing, the one that quietly reframes the whole move. This season, per the Mercury's own press release, DeWanna Bonner became the winningest player in WNBA history, 379 combined regular season and postseason wins. She set that record playing for a team that finished the year at 13-25 and got knocked out by the franchise she just joined. There's one more clock running. She sits second all-time in regular season games played, 8 games short of Sue Bird. Atlanta has 6 games left. Do the subtraction, 8 shot, 6 to play. That record is mathematically out of reach this season. If 2026 really is her last year, and she has not said that it is, she has only said she doesn't know, then the winningest player in league history retires 2 games short of the most played record in league history. 2 games. She's 39 years old. 3rd all-time in career points, 5th in rebounds, the league's all-time leader in playoff rebounds, 15 postseasons, 4 finals, 98 playoff games, and 0 championships since 2014. Friday night, August 28th, Atlanta hosts the Portland Fire. Whether DeWanna Bonner is on the floor is up to head coach Carl Smesko. Then the league shuts down for the FIBA World Cup. And when it comes back on September 17th, Atlanta has 4 games to decide whether that 4th seed holds and whether the first round sends them straight into Indiana. $451,000 to leave, $116,000 to arrive, 6 games to find out if it was worth it.